Hi guys, good evening, or just pick a greeting for yourself depending on when are you watching this, like what time of the day it is there. But yeah, let's talk about tattoos this time. Like I really wanted to talk about the tattoos that I have. I do talk about them often when I meet people, but online I've never talked about like why I got them and when I did, and what is the core meaning behind it. But I would love to say this one thing, that all of these tattoos have been very impulsive, and somehow they've always helped me, gain track of my life back again whenever I lose it in the times of adversity. So I think it is a good opinion, in my opinion, it is a good option to get a tattoo when you are somebody who thinks too deeply and need constant reminders about certain things of your life. It is a good option to get them. So today, in order of when I got these tattoos, I'm going to talk about these three ones. And whenever I do talk about these tattoos, there will be pictures on the screen showing you the close-ups of the tattoos, so that you can actually look those up. All three of those are on my arm, and I got two of them quite recently. Like one of them was a month ago and the other was 3 months before that. While the first one was 2.5 years ago. I think it is almost approaching 3 years now in March. In fact, it is 3 years. So I'll go with the first. The first one is the marble and the sculptor, and it is written in capital letters. If you can see this one, this straight line, it is that piece of text written. And what this means really is, let's go to when I got this and how I got this. This was my very first tattoo, and I was researching about how a certain kind of ink affects your skin, and I was reading too much about it, so I almost cancelled it for like at least 6 months. But one day in March, it was spring, I was wearing a blue and white stripes t-shirt with a denim jeans, and I sharply remember that was my very first tattoo. I went to New Chandigarh and I got this tattoo right away. It did not come out as what I expected, but it was the font was handwritten. I did not want it to be hardly written, like as if it's on a computer or something. It is my skin, it is allowed to be flawed, right? So I got it written, and it has always been a reminder of strength, and just always picking yourself up when you're down, because at the end of the day you have to build yourself up. So I'll come to what it means. So in Stoicism, there is this one thing that you really study early on, is that you're a blank piece of marble, like you're a blank cube of marble when you're born, and by the time you die you have to like carve yourself up, like beat yourself up with that whatever it is called, with the hammer, and that to make a face out of that marble. And it hurts. It is going to hurt a lot. It will test your patience, it will test your endurance, but in the end it will make a face out of yourself. And that is the goal of every man who is alive. By man I don't mean gender specific, but the term man means every human. That is their sole responsibility to build something out of themselves. By build, it doesn't specifically refer to career wise or anything, but build a character out of yourself. Somebody, when people look up to that person, they see something that inspires them, something that demands them to be good. Do you get what I mean? It is not necessarily all the high terms, but if even a single person looks up to you in this whole wide world, I think you're right in the path of success. So this has always been a reminder of myself, that every piece of pain and agony or hardship that I ever have faced is only helping me to build myself up, because every strike of the hammer hurts a lot. Every strike of the hammer, but also builds me up. And at the end of the day, if I can see myself, I can recognize myself in the mirror after all the hardships, I think that is the core responsibility that we have as humans. And this tattoo is a reminder of that. And I got this I think in 2023, when I got this in March. I was very much into Stoicism. I was reading a lot about it. So this was really what is the word influenced by that kind of reading, the kind of books I was reading back then. I think I remember I was reading How to Think Like a Roman Emperor back then, Marcus Aurelius, right? So that influenced it a lot. Okay, moving on to the next tattoo. This is quite recent, and I remember a lot about it, way too much. And this is the bigger one, the biggest tattoo that I have till now. If you can see this, so this is Atlas. atlas holding the earth, and at the same time it also has a golden rule in it, which is the Fibonacci series. So it's a combination of both the math and the emotional endurance and everything. So all of this is combined in a single tattoo, and I got a red ink color tattoo for the first time when I got this one. The earth is red in here. My friend Thomas made this in Beer on my birthday, on my 25th birthday, in the middle of a forest actually. I went to his house. He lives in the middle of a forest. It's a stone house, and he offered me alcohol, and I was having that with lemons, I think, on the bark of the tree, like a trunk of a tree cut down in half. I was sitting there for a while, and then inside his house we were working on this tattoo, and it was done in I think an hour or so. So this was the quickest tattoo I've ever had. But anyhow, it was on 17th of October that I got this tattoo. I spent 2 hours on this, the to and fro, the sitting in the jungle part. It was the most amazing feeling. Like, imagine getting a tattoo, and a fresh tattoo, and you walk into the forest right after that. I know it's not really a combination of the century, but I think I really enjoyed doing that. So I'll tell you about why I got this tattoo, or just let's talk about what it means first. So as usual, like, there is a theme to my tattoos. All of my tattoos somehow are related to strength and endurance, because somehow I've always felt that I have to endure so much. Like, I've had to endure so much, and this will continue, because even if I'm going through an adversity, at the end of it I've always felt good. Like, in the moment I might curse about it a lot. I might maybe curse when God is there, but at the end of it I've always felt good. I've always felt relieved to have gone through all of that. Do you understand? So I have related to strength and endurance a lot. Instead of just trying to get over things, instead of just wanting for things to get over and be done with, I have started appreciating the process of it all, like where you have to endure things to get to a certain phase. So Atlas, I won't tell you the whole Greek story, but it is a Greek god, a Titan god, who was cursed or punished to hold the whole earth on his back, to just rotate it forever and infinity and harmoniously, because the earth has a rhythm, right? Every 24 hours it spins, every 1 year it revolutes. So it had to, the god had to do that, all of that on the back of his shoulder. So that even though it is a punishment, it is nothing as related to be mine. I don't see life as a punishment. I don't see sufferings as punishment, but the way he endures that punishment consistently, harmoniously over the years, that is what I want to take inspiration from, and which is why this depicts strength and endurance for me. Alongside that, I told you there are two parts to this tattoo. One was the Fibonacci series, and the other was the Atlas. So one part is this, the endurance and wisdom part, and the other part is the logic and day part. Because Fibonacci series are mathematical, and every mathematical thing is considered to be logical. And since we all know what Fibonacci series does, is it's the golden rule that it will, whatever you do, it will double up. Not exactly double up, but it will go in a spiral. Like, whatever efforts you put in, it might feel small right now, but it will seem as a whole wide world in no time if you continuously put effort into it. So I believe life to be that way. Initial few weeks, initial few months, initial few years might offer you the slowest of growth, but over time it will give you insane amount of growth if you continue on that path. So this tattoo, like mixture of both these Fibonacci series and the Atlas, is a combination. It's a balance between logic and what I believe internally about actually acting upon it. So if you consistently put effort, you'll get good amount of growth, even though initially it might be slow. But for that effort, you need strength and endurance. Like, everything you suffer through the initial phases or on that spiral path upwards, that has to be endured with strength and with a happy face, with good resilient mind. So this is a good combination, which reminds me of that. It is similar to the first tattoo, but the only difference is it gives you a little hope that if you do all of this, not if, but if you manage to do all of this with a resilient mind, the growth is only and only waiting for you. It's the winning season, and it's only and only waiting for you. So it ends on a hopeful note. And I love this. Like, this is my first reading tattoo, and it looks so amazing because of the shape of the body that it takes. But yeah, I'm really happy about it. So the last tattoo, which is my most favorite tattoo like I've ever had, even though there are just 3, but this is the most recent one. I'm not so sure if you can see it from here, but it is a broken pillar with some leaves around it and a text written which calls out, "Weak become heroes." So it has 3 parts to it. The one is the broken pillar. So the broken pillar signifies the early death of somebody in their prime. Like whenever they, like for example, I consider myself to be in my prime. I mean, I'm 25, and the moment I reach 30, I will be in my prime. And imagine you get to lose all of you have in your prime. So that is the literal meaning of the broken pillars. But what it symbolizes is that everything is not gonna last, and it signifies impermanence, which is what I solely believe in. That even though the pillar might be strong, the pillars are the strongest part of any monument, any building, because they carry the weight of the whole building, even in the foundations. So sometimes they can be broken, and that signifies impermanence. And alongside that, what I've written is, "Weak become heroes." So that is actually from a famous song which promotes escapism and rave party and everything, but it is not that. There is another quote, I'm not sure from where, but it says, "Only weak can become heroes." And what it signifies is that, you know, in the moments of your weaknesses and your vulnerability, you have the core strength to become a hero, something majestic. Because I don't think anybody who is negligent towards their own inner weaknesses, inner vulnerabilities, can ever actually do something great in their lives. That is what I believe in, and this is a constant reminder for me to be a little vulnerable. It is okay to get hurt in the process, but be a little vulnerable, be open to the world. And it might hurt you, it might smash you down, but that is more of a reason to do that, because you're the light in the world. So this is what it reminds me of. And the leaves are just, you know, it has no real meaning. It just, I wanted it to look a little full on my arm, so I got these red leaves. But I think these leaves also represent a certain sense of comfort, right? Even though how do I explain this? Like when Emily Dickinson wrote that a million men will die and a million snowflakes will fall upon their graves, it is certain sense of comfort that the trees shed upon a broken pillar. Like, how do I explain this? I'm really resonating. I really resonate with trees a lot, right? So all of these leaves are acting like a comfort when I'm losing in my prime, when I'm at my lowest, but I don't forget to be vulnerable. Do you get it? How all of this separately means different things, but when they connect, it builds you up as a character. And that is what I want on my arm. Like, I want 4 to 5 more tattoos on this arm itself, and all of those should be around the same thing: strength, endurance, and building yourself up as a character. And if you notice carefully, if you were listening to me talk very carefully, all 3 tattoos are addition to the previous tattoo. Like, the first one is the raw bare minimum that I have to build myself out of the blank cube that I am when I'm born. The second one is, this means the same. I have to endure a lot to be there, but there will be growth. Then the third one is, there might be a time when in my prime I feel like I'm broken, like I've lost it all, like an early death in somebody's prime, but there will be a sense of comfort when the leaves fall. That is when you have to be vulnerable, because if you're not vulnerable, you're not human, and you're not destined for greatness. You're not destined for strength and victory. So all these things combine, and I did not think about it when I really was getting them, but at the end of it all, it always makes sense to me. And the first tattoo I've had it for 3 years now, it has always pushed me to become a better person. Like, whenever I feel like, why am I doing this? Like, why am I putting myself through all of this misery when I can just do or pick a simpler path? It reminds me of that. Like, every sort of hardship I go through is to build me up. It's for myself. And I will continue getting these tattoos and talk about more of these. But yeah, I have more in pipeline. The left arm is absolutely for nothing. The left arm I'm going to use to make maybe spiders, watermelons, and a lot of those shit. I won't make sense. It won't make sense at all on my left arm. So I'll be a walking irony. On the right arm I'll have all the philosophical shit in the world, and on the left I'll have just fruits, maybe animals, cute baby animals. But yeah, like this is what I really wanted to talk about for a long time, and I wanted a wider audience to know about it. I'm not so sure a lot of people are skipping through the videos, but anyhow, attention span is screwed in this generation. But anyhow, in a few years I would want to look back at this video and think about it, like, wow, did I really make sense out of random ink on my hand? And I'll feel good about it, probably. So see you in another video. I hope you enjoyed this one, and if you need any tattoo recommendations around Greek mythology, just comment down below. I think I'll definitely answer. See you next video.